She's been dubbed the Queen of Crime Fiction and has sold more than 19 million books in her 35-year career. Val McDermid is hugely successful in print, but her strongest characters have leapt off the page and right onto our television screens. Just think Robson Green in Wire in the Blood. And one of my favourites, Lauren Lyle as the fearless young detective, Karen Perry. She's the steely heroine in 6 bestsellers, with the 7th due in October. It's a universal story of a woman in a man's world, but with a unique Scottish character.
We have a couple of really good Scottish words for how I think of Karen. Gallus and thrawn. The nearest you could come to in English would be from the bloody minded.
Yeah.
And gallus means, sort of confident and bold. She's a good Scottish lassie. She's a good Fife lassie.
Now there's a second Karen Perry TV series in the works. It's set against the backdrop of beautiful Fife, where Val was born. She grew up here in Kirkcaldy. You were brought up in a house, just over there, weren't you?
Right, yeah.
And this is the public library, which has been so important in your life.
Well, I wouldn't be a writer if it wasn't for the public library. It was my home from home, and this was what entertained me, the books in that children's library.
Should we go and see what they've got now?
Let's go and see what they've got.
Right. Val, what was it that drew you into this building in the first place?
Well, my mother had encouraged me to read. We were working class, I couldn't afford to buy books. Read everything, Enid Blyton, Biggles, Wurzel Gummidge. But then I discovered Agatha Christie. I must have been about 9 years old, and I just thought this was fabulous.
In 2022, Val was one of a select few modern crime writers invited to contribute to a brand new collection of Miss Marple mysteries.
I felt like it was more of an homage because, Miss Marple was my gateway drug into the whole world of crime fiction.
When you come into the library now and you see your books on the shelf, do you have to pinch yourself?
It's kind of bizarre in a way, I kind of see all these other books, and particularly the classics that I read when I was younger, and I'm on the same shelf as them. It's hard sometimes to believe it's real. This was not how I expected my life to be.
Val spent her school holidays with her grandparents just up the coast in the village of East Wees. In sea caves nearby and armed with candles, young Val put her fledgling storytelling skills to the test. So what sort of stories did you tell when you were here in the cave to your friends?
I just used the atmosphere, so ghosts and ghoulies obviously were one thing. But out there you've got the Firth of Forth.
Yes.
So it was ideal for stories about pirates.
So you were honing your skills as a storyteller, even then.
Place is very important to me. I need to be able to picture it in my mind's eye. I need to know it.
The caves even inspired the setting for a key scene in the next Karen Perry TV adaptation.
A body is actually found in one of the caves, which is quite crucial to the plot.
Val left Fife aged 17 for Oxford University. She was the first Scot from a state school to graduate from St Hilda's College. She worked as a journalist in England for years, never planning to return home. As a gay woman, did you feel that Fife was not ready for you?
The whole Scotland wasn't ready for me when I left. The main reason I left Scotland in 1979 was that I couldn't have the kind of life I wanted to lead as an out lesbian. There's a long streak of misogyny and homophobia and sectarianism, none of which I felt comfortable with.
What brought you back?
Well, I wanted to come home, really, and I felt that Scotland had changed sufficiently since I left. And, you just look around you. Why would you not want to be here?
Well, exactly. And I can just imagine Karen Perry echoing that thought. She too finds solace and inspiration in this stunning corner of Scotland.
And the latest